Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Today, our topic is the Lord's love for us and the fact that when he came on earth, everything he did during his life on earth was done so that we could become something and be saved. And the readings that we've chosen that reflect that come from the end of his life. He's just come down from the large upper room where he has had bread and wine with his disciples, and he goes to the Garden of Gethsemane. And then moving on from there to the end of the story, part of his crucifixion.
And coming out of the upper room, he went to the Mount of Olives, as he was accustomed, and his disciples also followed him. When he came to the place, he said to them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and prayed, saying, "Father, if it is your will, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." Then an angel appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And further on in the reading, it says, "And he, bearing his cross, went out to a place called the place of a skull, which is called in Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and two others with him, one on either side, and Jesus in the center. Now a vessel full of sour wine was sitting there, and they filled a sponge with sour wine, put it on hyssop, and put it on up to his mouth. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, 'It is finished.' And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit."
So there we can get a sense of the kind of work that the Lord was doing on our behalf. And here's a statement from the writings of Emanuel Swedenborg, which talks about the idea that in everything that the Lord did, he only did it so that we could become something and be saved. Here's what Swedenborg writes. "While he was on earth and during his spiritual combats with the hells, the Lord never looked for any prize of victory for himself. His prize was the salvation of the whole human race, and it was from love toward the entire human race that he fought. He fought only so that all others might become something and be saved. As he himself declares in the Gospel of Mark, 'Whoever desires to become great among you shall be your servant, and whoever of you desires to be the first shall be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many.' He who fights from this love demands for himself no prize, because this love is such that it wills to give all its own to others and to have nothing for itself." So that leaves me with a simple question for the end of our reading time tonight, and that is, who and what are you becoming in your spiritual walk with the Lord? I'm sure that whatever it is beautiful. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.